You know it's crazy.
But there's a lot of crazy people out there, bro. There's a lot of crazy people out there. A lot of people, these are actors, actresses that we've never met. They might have been crazy. Even in the show that you loved. You might have loved them as, favorite character in the show. Doesn't mean that they're not crazy.
Out of prison. And she went on Lex Luthor. He has a podcast. Lex Luthor from Smallville.
Yeah, I see. But why? That's weird, though. That's fucking weird. But why was she in prison?
Unsure, or was it just
Wasn't
kind
it
of
like fraud or some shit?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So let me put that here.
That's nuts. And he goes on her podcast. Lex Luthor's podcast. Who didn't go to prison. So, but to give an idea, the viewers, what are we talking about?
Okay, so, all right. Allison Mack is an actress from the hit show Smallville that was on the WB at the time. Mm-hmm. So Smallville talks about the life of Superman when he was a teenager in high school. And Allison Mack was Clark Kent's best friend, female best friend in the show. She played and looked like the innocent little girl in the show. That's basically perfect. That Clark didn't. She fell in love with Clark, but Clark didn't want anything to do with her. So she was always like the innocent girl, victim of loving, whatever the guy that
they didn't love her back. Yeah.
Whatever. I think that idea of it also plays into her character in real life, into her personality in real life, which is because she looks innocent even in real life. Mm-hmm. Comes to find out, finishes the show. Of course, she has a bunch of disposable income, but she's not validated. She finds this guy that has a cult called NXIVM, and she basically becomes the right-hand girl of the guy to go recruit girls.
Were they boyfriend, girlfriend?
I didn't.
We don't know? Okay.
I didn't get that part. But I want to show you just a bit of...
And when she went to prison because of the whole cult thing, did he go to prison as well, or just her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a big sting. It was FBI.
Okay.
She went to Mexico to hide.
Oh shit.
No, it was a big thing. Like she was facing 22 years in prison, and she's out in 3. It's
just kind of grew up in that.
Yeah. Do you think that need for attention and all that kind of equated into what inevitably
happened? Yes, I would say less the need for attention and more the need to be great. Like I needed to be the best at whatever I was doing.
But it wasn't a power thing to you.
What, the attention or the greatness?
The attention, the greatness, all that.
I wasn't like seeking power, but I won't lie and say that power didn't feel good.
Right.
And I definitely feel like that's something that when you're on house arrest for 3.5 years and then you're...
Just to be clear, they were branding girls.
I remember hearing that shit, yeah.
They were branding them with...
Do we know where?
I don't know where.
Okay.
In prison for 2 years, you spend a lot of time thinking about what happened,
dude,
and how you got to where you
are.
People
that got caught with drugs do more time.
I can't say you. I yo-yoed back and forth between I'm the worst human being on the planet. I'm all these awful things. I'm horrible. Devastated and da-da-da-da. And then I would go back and I'd be like, well, no, I'm also like, I had good intentions here and I wanted to do this here, and I'll look at my journals and be like, I was thinking this here, so I don't think I'm horrible.
But you were branding
it was
people.
This dance back and forth of accountability and justification and confusion until finally you settle into, okay, I'm a human being who has dark and light. I got caught up in a really messed up situation with really powerful people who had incredible ways of manipulating people over long periods of time. And what did I do that I need to sit with in my conscience for the rest of my life so I don't do it again?
Right.
And what did I do that I can forgive myself for? And then with that knowledge, you move ahead, hopefully with wisdom, and try and do better on the other side.
Yeah.
And one of the things I definitely contend with on a regular basis is like, how did I objectify people to the point where I thought it was okay to take away their autonomy? Like how did I get to a point where that was something that I thought was okay?
That's a very good question.
And how did I get to a point where I thought it was okay to feel in power of people?
Right.
How did I get to a place where I lost my...
It's like feeling like I don't know if it's a notion or whatever, but good people sometimes do very bad things.
100%. I have a really hard time with the idea of good people and bad people. I work with people now in prison who have done really horrible things. And I would not say that they're bad people.
Right.
And I know that I have done really bad things. And I don't believe I'm a bad person. So I believe that there are different psychological things that are happening in people's brains that I don't totally understand because I'm not a psychologist yet. Sociopaths, psychopaths, mirror neurons broken down, things like that make empathy difficult for people. But I just don't know if I inherently believe that people are either good souls or bad souls.
I don't think you're born. I mean, sometimes people are born with mental illness, right? And so a lot of times they don't have a choice.
Exactly.
The inside of their brain looks completely different than ours. It doesn't make it okay, but it's tough. It's hard to sort of make that analysis on people that, especially like I knew you and you were nothing but a pro and fun to be around and doing fun things and had your friends and on set it was. So when people ask me, I was like, I don't believe it. Can I believe it? And they're like, could you believe it?
Okay, can you please...
Like me in a way that you always need attention.
Bro.
This is shocking.
If there was a way for me to show a clip that would show white privilege, I'm like, what the fuck am I listening? All I'm seeing is I'm trying to look at the same conversation, but just change the skin tone, the skin color. You're basically, you're almost doing human trafficking. You're branding people. You're with other psychopaths in prison telling each other that, hey, you're good. We're good here, but we're not bad people, although we've done fucked up things. And after that, we can just spend 2-3 years in prison, come out and be on a podcast. Like, my guy, what the?
Yo, I think.
What are we?
I think it was wild.
I would love to know. And I'm not, more power to whoever, but who's going to want to date this person?
Good question.
Already
Gabby.
done? No, I'm not trying to find out. oh my God.
Good.
To make that decision.
Did Frank, was it difficult for him did he sort of, was he like inquisitive, asking you a lot of questions about it? Was he unsure, or was it just kind of like, hey, I love you for you, and we all make mistakes?
My husband has a really wild story
wow.
that may be equally as wild as mine is. And that, in fact, we had both seen each other's documentaries before we met without realizing that we had seen each other's documentaries before we'd met. So my husband, when he grew up in South Philly in the hood and had a really rough childhood. And then when he was 14, he joined the neo-Nazi movement. And in the 90s, that was an incredibly violent and rough time, especially on the East Coast. By the time he was 17, he had reached kind of the top of the movement in South Philly and was sort of running this sort of street gang. And he kidnapped a member of Antifa and got arrested for it and put in big boy prison, a maximum security prison in Illinois. And while he was in prison, he was only 17, and there were 2 other guys that were his age, and they happened to be people of color, and he made friends with them.
Oh, that's not great.
And that started to shift his perspective on what he was dedicating his life to. And when he got out of prison, he went back to the movement because he didn't have anywhere else to go, but needed a job. And his friend was like, I can get you a job moving antique furniture in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's $300 for the weekend. And Frank was like, great. I need money. I'm 19. I have nothing. And the guy, he goes, the only thing is that the guy who is hiring you is Jewish. And Frank was like, does he know about me? I mean, Frank had a huge swastika tattooed on his neck and skinhead tattooed on his knuckles and all these things. He's like, does he know, like, who I am? And he was like, yeah, the guy says he doesn't care what you believe, just don't break his furniture. So Frank went and worked for him for 3 days. And the man took a liking to Frank. He's really smart. He's very funny, all these things. And the guy hired him, took him under his wing and hired him, and became a mentor to him. And Frank was like, how can I? It changed Frank completely. And so he gave up the movement, gave everything up, and actually completely went the other way, started a program called Harmony Through Hockey, which brought people of different groups of different races together through the game of hockey, and then started speaking on anti-Semitism, intolerance, traveled all over the world doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he was in a documentary called Why We Hate that Steven Spielberg produced. It was a really amazing six-part documentary series on the nature of hate.
Please.
And I had watched it when I was on house arrest. And Frank had watched the HBO documentary about NXIVM. But we were at a dog park in Long Beach. I was with my dog. He was.
My question is, the Jewish person that hired that dude, would he have hired the same, a black person instead? I'm just.
Nobody had a swastika, so he's against Jewish people.
I know. I'm asking. He did not care as long as that dude did not break his furniture. Would he have cared if the person was black? All I know is, and I don't want to always make it a race thing, but when I hear stories like that, and again, it is a beautiful, it almost sounds like a fucking comeback Disney movie story, but it's like, I don't see that, and I'm not to say that it's a common thing too. I don't think it's something that could happen to anyone, but if I were to put money on a particular nationality group that could tell me a story like that, it would be them. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anyways, if that interests you to know more,
and black people were so welcoming.
Yeah.
Who befriended him in prison? Black people.
Yep.
We're welcoming as hell.
Guys, if you're interested in knowing more about Allison Mack's story and about NXIVM, feel free to go watch that podcast. It's called Inside You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside You?
Yep.
Pause. Shit. Okay, that's why. Okay.
No,